my name is Janelle, and today we are going to be talking about something that I totally didn't think I was going to be filming. I thought I was going to be filming a beautiful makeup tutorial for you today, and by the title you already know it's a little different. We're going to be talking about the infamous, the well-known, the cult favorite Naked Original palette. And by the title you already know my opinion on this palette. I really think it sucks. To be honest, I don't know, it's not something that is user-friendly. It's not something that is makeup beginner-friendly. This is a palette that I want to say everyone knows about. If you haven't heard about this palette, then you really have been under a rock, because just type in Naked Original palette on YouTube and you will find so many tutorials on this palette. Now, if you really love this palette and you are ride or die for it, then all the power to you. You know, everyone has difference in opinions and everyone has different things that they like in their makeup palettes. To me personally, I don't think this is a user-friendly, beginner-friendly makeup palette. Maybe for someone that has tons of palettes and your collection has a lot of colors where you can mix and match different colors, because you will not be able to get a complete look from this palette, in my opinion. And if you can get a complete look, it's very limited look, and it's, I don't know, it's just not something that I think you need at all. Like, there's so many better brands out there, there's so many better palettes out there. So let me just try to convince you on why this palette sucks, and you can just return it. So I started off today really just wanting to do a beautiful makeup tutorial. I did a makeup tutorial a couple months ago that I'll actually link it in the description below on the Naked 2 palette. To me, this is a much better palette. If you are going to pick up one of the two, pick up this one. This one also lacks in matte shades, but I think you can get a much prettier look and much more diverse looks from this palette than you can from this palette. So when I picked up this palette to do a tutorial on it, you know, I was very skeptical seeing the colors. I don't know, it's just something that's basic. Like, there's so many other palettes out there that look like this, that have these colors, and that are so much more affordable. I think that $50 or $55 for this palette is completely unreasonable. The swatches that I get from this palette aren't even as good. What I wanted to do is give a side-by-side swatch test to show you the difference between a Naked eyeshadow and then a Morphe eyeshadow. So I'm going to do it with the Dark Horse color that's right here, and I'm going to put it side by side to this Morphe palette. This is the Morphe 35D palette, and I'm going to put it side by side to this color right here. They're pretty much the same exact colors, and just to show you this whole palette with so many colors, I don't even know, it has 35 colors in this palette, and it runs for about $22. $22. While this palette has 12 shadows that are tiny, and it's $55 or $50, somewhere around there. To me, it just doesn't do it justice when this formula is just as good, if not better, than the Naked formula. So I'm going to swatch right here, just one swipe, swatch. That is the color payoff that I get. And then on the back of my hand, that is what I get. It's fairly translucent. There is not a lot of pigment to it. It's quality. And then we're gonna go into this one right here, and again, just one swipe. Side by side on my finger, you can see what a difference this makes. This one is just so much more pigmented off of one swipe on my finger than this one is. And then we're going to do the same thing on the back of my hand and just do one single swipe down. And it's just, I don't know, to me it's completely different. To me I can see the back of I can still see the skin under my hand, under the shadow on my hand for the Naked palette color. But when I see this one, it is just like so opaque that I cannot see the color of my skin. I cannot see my skin showing through the shadow underneath. And that is what I want when I put on my shadows. I don't want to be packing on for 1,000 hours. I don't want to be struggling to get the color payoff that I need and that I want. I want to have one so I can be done and continue with my day. To me, those are palettes and colors that are worth it. So that is just one swipe. I can show you every other color, but honestly, it's going to be the same exact thing over and over again. I'm not putting all the glory to Morphe. I'm just showing you that you can have a more affordable brand that is going to give you a better payoff than this. Yes, Urban Decay has amazing things. My favorite concealer of all time is actually an Urban Decay concealer, and it's amazing. But to me, this palette can go in the trash. Honestly, like, I'm just going to return it to Sephora. It's awful. It's awful. This is just what I think. We have progressed from this palette, you know, back in 2010. This was great. This was a holy grail. This was worth it. This was everything because palettes were not as amazing back then. But fast forward 7 years, palettes are way better than this. And we can just leave this in the past. Leave this in 2010. Maybe some of you agree with me and some of you share the frustrations with this palette. This palette doesn't have good matte shades that you can use in your transition. It doesn't have a good black that you can darken up your shadows. Like, the darkest matte shade is Buck, and to me this is a transition shade. Like, I can't use this to darken up my crease and to make a nice smoky eye that I would like. The colors that are darker over here, you know, they're full of shimmer, and not only shimmer but blue shimmer. So when you're doing a nice gold smoky eye, you don't want blue shimmer all over your lid. Like, no, like, that just doesn't work. It's up to you. You know my opinion. Maybe go look up someone else's opinion. I couldn't just sit here and make a tutorial about something that I didn't believe in. I didn't like how the colors were blending out. I didn't like how it was looking, the color payoff. I didn't like anything about the look that I was creating for you guys, and I was not going to put it up here to get views or to get likes and just to put up content so I have a lot more. I couldn't do that. So I hope you like my honesty. I hope you appreciate everything I had to tell you and hopefully warn you about, so you don't spend so much money on something that really isn't needed. You want a good palette? Go on Morphe. Go to Makeup Geek. Those shadows are so affordable and they're so amazing. I know makeup is not cheap at all. It's very expensive, and we are not all blessed to be able to buy all these expensive things. So please check things out, read reviews, try different options. You know, if something's online, it doesn't mean that it's hard to get. It's just worth the wait. Thank you so much for watching. That is all I have to say for today because I'm just going to keep rambling on. I appreciate your support so much. Please subscribe and give this video a nice thumbs up, and hasta la próxima.